All right, early in the morning. Not that early. You can see the sun's up. Kind of can see the sun's up. Got a new glucose meter here. Val picked up because I couldn't find mine, the one I've had for years, because it's a big house. It's here somewhere. This one I don't really know how to use, so I'm just learning. Came from Wegmans. It was only $18.99. I'm really off my game this morning because I just got up and haven't had any coffee or any fucking thing yet. All right, push that in. That does that. And then blood. Okay, we're ready to go, baby. This looks promising. All right, let's get some blood going. Is there any blood coming out of there? Oh, there is a little bit of blood coming out of there. It's not much, though. I hope it's enough. Oh, it's testing. Looks like it's testing. 87. 87, baby. Now you tell me that shit's not low. Look at that. All the sugar I eat, 87. All right, so it's 87 first thing in the morning after I just got up, out of bed. No coffee, nothing. So now I'm going to have some coffee. Then I'm going to go ahead and mix my pre-workout. All right, we're going to do Val's. We have a competition here. See where hers is.
Well, you might not be showing it, so no competition.
Ready?
Hardly.
Squeeze it.
Look where you did it at. You can do it on the tip.
What are you talking about?
You can do it up there.
Why does it matter? Up there is going to be thicker, I thought.
It's all off-center.
That in there, and that's going to go through that little ritual. Goes through its little ritual, see. Then a little drop of blood appears. Put your drop of blood in that thing. Oh yeah, it went right up in there. Sucked that blood up like it was supposed to be there. Let's see what we got here. 94. Not bad? Quite as good as the big dogs, but.
Is that good or bad?
That's good. All right, now I'm ready to go to the gym. I'm a little more presentable. You know, it's not like I can hope for too much. Being 54 and looking every bit of it as it is. But I can try to maintain the illusion. Anyway, so I'm mixing up my pre-workout. We're going to get to the gym. Then I'm going to show you after I've drank this. I'll show you my blood sugar count at the start of the workout. And then at the end of the workout. Midway through the workout and then at the end of the workout. And then I'll explain what all this signifies or supports, or what conclusion you can draw from that at the end. So here's what's the pre-workout today. As always, it isn't a thing without the Carbolin. Now Carbolin has a new formula here. They've changed the formula. I don't like when people change formulas if it's something that I like, because there's a reason I like it as it is. But the Carbolin, what they've done here is they've added electrolytes. And then the next thing I have to add, of course, you know, is the L-arginine. And I'm going to go with probably today, I'm going to go about 10 grams. The last thing is just, can be anything basically, but I'm just using a little NO product. So I'm using No Explode just because I used to have an affinity for the stuff many, many years ago when it first came out. Of course, the formula has changed. It's not the same, but, and I don't always use that. I use whatever I just have, and I have boatloads of shit where I just get something and try it, get something and try it. Okay, so that third ingredient, the first two are staples, they're always in there. Then there may or may not even be that third ingredient. But if there is that third ingredient, it's going to usually be something BCAA Power by Lee Labrada, which I'm out of right now, unfortunately. But I also have Labrada Supercharge, which has some BCAAs in it, but it also has creatine. And I figure, well, what the hell, if I'm going to have to take some creatine in, because I don't use creatine, don't supplement it. If I'm going to take creatine, then I might as well just go ahead and take no explode. All right, here we are on the way to the gym. Yeah. All right, it's a rainy day. Anyway, I'm talking to myself. I talk to myself a lot, so I figured, what the hell, I'll talk to the camera. And you know what was occurring to me is that I'm thinking about these bags that I'm trying to put together to feed homeless people with, or to hand out when I'm out in the streets, when we go out into the hood and feed people, acknowledge people, whatever, however you want to put it or think of it. And the summer bags, you know, you guys, from the feedback I got off of that video I put up, from the great, awesome contributional feedback that I got, it's made me arrive at the conclusion that I need to have, everything needs to serve multi-purposes. It can't, if possible. So even the bag itself, so here's where I'm at. Can we come up with a means of putting this stuff in a sack, in a bag, in something that's, it's got to be inexpensive, because we're on balls and knuckles around here. We don't have a lot of money coming in. Not for this. I mean, I make a decent living, but we spend some of that, you know, from my day job, my real job, we spend some of that money to offset, well, and actually it covers the bulk of the expense for the things Gorilla with the Calls does. Our money and donations and helping hands from our inner circle. That's what pays for all the shit. The stuff that we get from YouTube, donations, any kind of profit, a few bucks on an item that we make selling on, you know, to get the word out. The Gorilla with the Calls wear hats and shirts and all that stuff. You know, that's minimal because it was the initial investment. We still haven't really covered all that expense. But that's a little bit, and it helps trickling in. All that helps, but still, you know, we dig into my own income, my personal income. That's just the way it is, because it's a passion for me. It's not a business. And so it has to be inexpensive. It can't be like really expensive. So how can we come up with a bag or a sack or some means of packaging this? It's kind of like a bag lunch, a decent sized bag lunch. Packaging this so that that sack or that bag can serve multiple purposes. So that it's not just a paper bag like I had previously used that just gets balled up and thrown aside into the street, into the trash, whatever the case may be. If there's a way to package this stuff or to put it in some kind of a something to replace the bag that people could get multiple uses out of if they were in a survival situation, an urban survival situation generally. Some of these people are in the woods, most are not. To me, it makes all the sense in the world to be in the woods. That's probably what I would elect to do. I could live fairly well in the woods. But I live in the woods anyway. I just have a house in the woods. So that's where we need to go with this. If you guys can put your heads together, really think on it. Take your time. It's a challenge. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do about it. It may be that we can't come up with something else that's feasible, you know, from a monetary standpoint. But if you guys come up with any ideas, way we can package these things so that they can get multiple uses out of what they come in, so it's not just trash, disposable. So right now I'm thinking, you know, of course you're always going to have socks. Socks, I know socks are super important. Socks, maybe some Vaseline and or some chapstick. Right now I'm still with the peanut butter. Now on rare occasion we will get like ham and cheese sandwiches or ham and bologna. You know, we will make meat sandwiches on occasion. Yeah, I know. Look, I can't please everybody. All right, if you got a peanut allergy or you won't eat meat and you're homeless and on the street, I'll tell you what, I'll find some. There's never going to be a person that I'm going to run into that's homeless and hungry that I don't find a way to feed them something. Believe that. We're going to feed them something. Anyway, that's just the thoughts on that. All right, I'm at the gym. I just pulled in next to Jason's car, so my brother's here. That'll be nice. Get to see everybody. And we're going to check out the blood sugar level right now, see what's going on. I still have this much left, so I've drank about half. Drank about half of this thing. It had 100 grams of sugar in it. So let's see what kind of blood glucose event is taking place thus far. If I can set this camera still somewhere. Let's investigate. So first thing we got to do is prick this son of a bitch. First we got to take this out of here. Put a little test strip in here. They see me out here doing this shit. They probably think I'm fucking doing who knows what. Ooh. Okay. Put your test strip in. Just like this here. Test strip goes in there. Well, it's turned on. Yeah, oh, it already read it, automatically came on. Alright, it comes on, then starts to flash a little drop of blood, and says, hey, dummy, put your drop of blood on. And you load this cocksucker here like this, and you, excuse my language, I'm sorry. Bang, stab myself like that. Any blood come out of that? Yeah, a little bit it did. Alright, put a little blood on there. And it pulls it right up. And it's thinking. Thinking about it. I wonder if I got enough blood on there. Oh, look where we're at now. 144, baby. Okay, and we're halfway gone with this, so we're climbing. We're climbing. All right. Wasn't particularly overjoyed with that workout. I mean, I got monsters pumping shit. Place is fucking crowded. Excuse me. Damn. Place is freaking crowded. Next time, I'll get some video inside the gym. I don't like to be a dick, and it seems to me, you know, running around a gym, taking video, it just seems intrusive sometimes. You know, agree or disagree, you know, it's what I'm comfortable with and not comfortable with. Or I do more shit in the gym. I don't have any problem with videotaping what I do and explaining what I do, but the vast, you know, the huge bulk majority of what I do, I don't videotape because I don't want to intrude on other people's workouts and shit. Lugging a camera around in the gym. All right, so we push that in. Has a little drop of blood on it. Ooh, I feel hypo a little bit, so I can usually tell when I stuck this same finger all day, so is there any more blood in this son of a bitch? Yeah, I don't bleed much, surprisingly. Okay, so there it goes thinking about it. All right, so there we go. Now I'm down to 92. See? So what do you learn from that? Well, a reasonable person might conclude that I probably went up damn near 200 or so mid-workout after I had ingested all of my pre-workout drink, I would imagine. And now I'm down to 92. So all that shit went somewhere. All that carbs and sugars went somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? I'm burning the glycogen that's in the muscle when I'm training. So all that sugar I just put in my body, it's not really sugar, it's complex carb that behaves like a simple carb. But all that basically glucose kind of that I just put in my body, that shows me through enough years of doing this that I didn't take in too many carbs. I took in 100 to 125, and I was able to use them all up. 90, 92, that's acceptable. People tell you can't generate an insulin spike that quickly. They really don't know what they're talking about. If you go to the doctors and they suspect you may be diabetic or insulin resistant, they give you 75 grams of glucose basically, and they look for an insulin spike. And this is how they do it, pretty much, with blood. Now they're not going to have you sit there. How long do you think it takes to generate an insulin spike? I just was in and out of the gym in about an hour, 15 minutes. It's a little lengthy for me today. And within that time frame for those carbs to have been utilized, the insulin had to come out and drive them where they go. I got a monster pump, I'm super full, and now tomorrow when I work out, I'll be super full and pumped again because of it. So what I've been able to do is take the opportunity, make advantage of the opportunity to super saturate the muscles, because as I'm wringing that glycogen out, through the workout, they're like, it's like a sponge wringing it out. It's super absorbent at that moment, at that time, in that period, in that window. And the insulin spike grabs all the carbs, shoves all the carbs back in there to replenish them as they're being utilized back into the muscle. So if you didn't lose your pump, you chased it and you had a monstrous pump and you never lost it, you stayed monstrous. The more you did, you kept swelling more. Monstrous pump. Then you didn't cut into your reserves. You still had enough to fill back up. And now with this blood glucose level showing me at 94, then I know that there's a little bit of insulin probably still active in my bloodstream right now. And immediately now, I throw down a whey isolate, and I ride that insulin, let that isolate ride what's left of that insulin right into the muscle to begin the recuperative process. Not to mention my blood should already be full of amino acids and protein. I just drank whey isolate before I got into the gym, so it was already in my bloodstream. Drank it about half an hour, 40 minutes before I trained. And then I had some, a little bit of casein this morning. So I have enough in my blood that the muscles never went without. Continuous trickle, continuous supply. Now people can tell you all these details don't matter. And if you're just a regular guy and you're content with your physique and you don't want to micromanage things, that for you would be maybe micromanaging, because it might not be necessary for your goals. But for me, it is not micromanaging by any means. It's simply managing. It's what's required to be this size. It's what's required to be this size. You understand? It's a different game. All right? Small things that seem unimportant, like if you were just a guy that wants to look fit, in shape, muscular, but not overly muscular, not concerned with a whole lot of size and muscle, then you can do a lot less as far as management, and you can achieve that. No problem. No fuss, no muss. Maybe you don't have time for that kind of commitment, that level of commitment, or maybe you just don't care you don't care about all that muscle, maybe. Nothing wrong with that. I do, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? To each their own. So, but if you do, then those smaller things become bigger things, become more important. Because those smaller things, as you ascend the ladder, right, unto massiveness, so to speak, those small things become more important, and you need to pay attention to them. They're not small things anymore. At that level, they are necessary. They're necessary, and it's the difference. Okay, typically or traditionally, if a doctor was testing you to see your glucose response, to see if it was normal, looking for diabetes or any of this kind of associated ailments or illnesses, they would have you drink, after fasting, they would have you drink 75 grams of some kind of a sugary liquid, usually glucose. And then they would, the whole time they're checking your blood glucose level. They check it before, they'd have you drink it, and they check it at various periods. But what they're actually looking at is your response, and they're looking for, at the end of 2 hours, a number they want you to be at. And after 2 hours, I believe they want you to have been able to deal or handle this glucose, to effectively have lowered your blood sugar down. As you see in the video you just watched, I brought mine down to 92 after just a little over 1 hour. So that's that 92 is actually a lower number than what they're looking for at the end of the 2 hour test. And that demonstrates within the 1 hour that my body managed all those carbs, all those sugars. Now ideally, what you would want to do, or what I try to do, is you don't want to take in too many. You don't want to take in more than you're able to either absorb and push back into the muscle as glycogen, or burn off. If you take in more, too much, then you're going to end up getting fat, And yeah, I guess if you did it frequently enough, you could end up becoming insulin resistant. Well, the sugar floating around your bloodstream, just overdosing on it. But as long as I can manage it that quickly, and I'm holding it all into the muscle or I'm burning it all off, it's just not circulating anymore after the hour at those levels, then no harm, no foul. Everything's good to go. No health issue there, no concern. If you're taking too much and you see that it's still really high after that 1 hour, right? Doesn't mean anything bad except that means you're probably going to get fat. It's too much. It's more than you could, because you got 2 hours. So it's too much. It's more than you could hold. And again, I'm taking 100 grams as opposed to 75 grams. So consider that. Anyway, it would mean that you've taken in so much that now, where's the rest of it going to go? Now, certainly after the workout, there's going to be a little bit of time, a little spillover time, where you're still going to be able to push some more of that into the muscle if it's not completely full yet. In my case, very little is probably going to still go into the muscle afterwards at that amount. I'm probably pretty full from doing this repeatedly. I stay pretty full. I get up in the morning pretty full. But if there's a whole lot left over, that insulin is going to shove it in the fat cells. If you're not burning it off and you can't push any more into the muscle tissue, then you're going to be stored as body fat. So that's how you're going to get fat. So you don't want to overdo it. It's not one of these things where more is better. More is not better. More makes you fat. Now, what I'm doing, if I were getting fat, then I would feel like, 92 is too high and I'm not managing it. Still a little spillover time afterwards, and it's actually one of the fat cells. But since I'm not getting body fat, not getting fat from it, I've been doing it forever, then I pretty much have a good handle of where I'm at and what I can tolerate and how much I can hold. Now, if you were to have crashed and your blood sugar level be really low, then you would either have been probably using wrong types of carbs, wrong sugars, or you didn't take enough. You didn't take enough. And the danger there is that you not only ran out of sugar, potentially glucose, but you're probably cutting into now muscle glycogen. You're probably losing your pump, and you would probably be able to feel that and know that you've gone so far that you're losing your pump. You've lost your pump. That's too far, right? So, do your research. If you need to know more, if you're interested, things I haven't covered here, videos long enough as it is now, then just do your research on it. Oh, one more thing. I just want to throw out there. It's very interesting when you see what you can do and manipulate your own body, how marvelous it is and complex it is and things you can achieve and accomplish. Juxtapose that with the mentality today that people who take antibiotics and preach antibiotics, they think insulin is the be-all, end-all. It's all about the insulin and the GH. So here you have all these people using insulin, and isn't it a damn shame that the huge majority of the people using it, they don't even know how to do this much with their body's own naturally produced insulin. Now, wouldn't you imagine you would probably have exploited all of this first and then said, I still need more, which, you would have to be one big dude. You would be on a whole other level there. So yeah, a lot of guys are doing it, but if you're not a pro and you're not that huge, do you really need to do it? Well, I would just say, and you can disagree, feel free to disagree, there's no right and wrong, it's just a matter of opinion. If you haven't fulfilled the responsibility of actually learning enough about your own body and how it works to be able to manipulate your own insulin level in your favor, like I just did here, then why would you just right away jump in and resort into, injecting insulin? And do you not recognize what a tremendous risk to your health that is? It's tremendous risk to your health. So, of course, there are going to be busters and naysayers. They're going to say, well, all that sugar and simple sugars, that's not, and it's actually not a simple sugar, but to make it less confusing, let's just say it is. Let's just call it glucose. It's actually a modified complex carb, but if if you think that what I'm doing isn't healthy, which I think I disagree with that. I don't see that there's any ill effect from it whatsoever. Then certainly you would have to say that using insulin, you're taking insulin into your body, injecting it, that's got to be much, much much, less healthy, much greater risk. So, I don't know. Draw from it what you will. You guys take care. Have an awesome day.